Hey, I'm Stephanie, and it's time to talk about new makeup. If you're new, here's the drill. I live with an inner makeup monster who wants to play with all the new makeup on the market. But I have lived with this creature long enough to know that I cannot let her get control, because if I do, I will literally drown in makeup and go broke. Neither of which really fit into my life goals. So in these videos, I like to embrace my makeup monster by taking a look at all the new goodies out there on the market, but I also like to use logic to keep her in check and talk myself out of buying all the things. Because ultimately, my goal is to enjoy all of the beautiful makeup that I already have. And it's very difficult to do that if I'm constantly buying new stuff. Before we start, if there's anything I mentioned that you'd like to take a closer look at, I do link everything in the show notes. Those are affiliate links, which means I earn a small commission when people shop through them, and I use a portion of those funds to purchase products for review on this channel. So if you're thinking of buying something anyway, then I'm always thankful when you use them. But in line with the theme of this video, if you think that it would be smarter for you to simply not purchase something and use what you already have, you know I'm always going to vote for that. Okay, so I have Instagram pulled up over here, and I'm scrolling back a while since I have not been online in ages. And the first thing I see on the new makeup account, Trend Mood 1, is the Pantone color of the year. And it is, drumroll please, Mocha Mousse. It is literally the color of dirt. And if you know me, you know I love the color of dirt. And since makeup is just dirt, if you really think about it, that means, according to Pantone anyway, this year is probably going to be all about dirt-colored dirt, which could make it a very difficult year for me as someone who doesn't want to buy a lot of makeup. But on the other hand, I do already own a lot of items in this color, so it might actually be easier for me to resist any new Mocha Mousse inspired releases. I guess we'll see just how aligned the makeup world is with this whole Mocha Mousse trend, starting with the Tom Ford Rose Exposed collection. First, I like the name. Second, Tom Ford quads always call to me. And one of my favorite lipsticks is from Tom Ford, so I'm automatically attracted to new lippies from them. And this N3 West Coast shade is right up my alley because that's the one that's closer to being a nude lipstick. But let's face it, nude lipsticks are my weak spot. If you can't tell whether or not I'm wearing a lipstick, that's when I know it's the right shade for me. Spending luxury prices to look like I'm barely wearing anything. I know it's absurd, but I like what I like. Lip-colored lipstick and dirt-colored dirt. Okay, but as much as I would love to just drool over these new products, my goal is to talk myself out of them, so here goes. It's kind of hard to tell from these swatches, but I was watching Hey, It's Jacqueline, linked below, and she was trying this out, and it looks kind of like this Rose Exposed palette is a lighter version of Tom Ford's Honeymoon Quad, which I already have. And since I already own the darker version of this quad, it would just be so much easier to use what I already own with a lighter hand and then achieve literally the exact same look. And when it comes to the lipstick, I have all the lip-colored lipsticks I need right now. In fact, I have all the lipsticks I need, period. I recently organized my entire makeup collection, and I'll be filming that soon because look what I got for Christmas. You probably can't tell what this is, but it's a stand that I can use to film things from the top down without my camera smashing and breaking. So I'll finally be able to film my makeup collection video, coming soon, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. But I've basically spent the last couple of years either on a flat-out no-buy or practicing what I call adagio beauty, which is in essence a slow buy. And I did that to give myself time to do a putter declutter. I went through my entire makeup collection. I tested everything in head-to-head comparisons. I really did a deep dive into my collection so that I could declutter it in a way that would really benefit me. So I only kept my very favorite things. Turns out I have a lot of favorites because I still have a ton of makeup, but that's not the point. My point right now is that I organized my makeup according to the container concept. And it means I designated a container for each makeup category. And once each slot in that container is full, then I can't buy anymore. And every single slot in my lipstick container is full, which puts me on an automatic lipstick no buy by default. So that means I won't be getting this beautiful lipstick either. That lip oil is tempting me a little bit though, because I think it was Maria from Nightstar Beauty who tried out a similar release a while back. I think there was like a limited edition holiday release with like a rose lip oil. And she really liked that. She made it sound so good. And technically, I do have a teeny weeny bit of space in my lip gloss container. But my goal with the container concept is not to stuff my containers as full as I possibly can. My goal with that is to make my makeup easy for me to access so that I can get more joy out of using it. And I think I want to enjoy that easy accessibility that I've created more than I would want that lip gloss. So one release down. How many to go? Oof, there's a lot. Ooh, we may need to do a couple of videos just to catch up on all the new releases. Here's a brand I've never heard of before, Beauty Creations Cosmetics. And they released a SpongeBob collaboration, which was not made for me because it is very colorful. But also, as much as I love SpongeBob, just ask my nieces, it is very easy to get me to watch cartoons. As much as I enjoy SpongeBob, I feel like that face just has the wrong get ready with me energy. It's like too enthusiastic. Makeup is my morning moment of zen, so looking at that would just stress me out. And based on the description here, the lip oils are pH lippies, which is something I despise, so those are not tempting me at all either. Aside from that, the colors actually look really fun. In fact, I almost think I would use some of them, which says a lot because I'm mostly about the beige. The dirt and sand and earth and dirty, sandy, earthy, rosy colors are more my kind of thing. But that one brownish, warmish, bronzy single shadow looks like it has the potential to be like a really great shiny shade. It's kind of hard to tell from the swatches if it's just like a straight up traditional metallic or if it might be something a little bit more special. Because the packaging leads me to believe that maybe they're trying to dupe the infamous Urban Decay Moondust shadows. And if that's the case, then maybe it's sparkly. Has anyone tried this brand? These shadows in particular? Because for $6, that would be a real steal if they're any good. I'm just not curious enough to try it at the moment though. So next. Whoa, Estee Lauder. Have you been peeping Flower Nose? Because this packaging feels much less like Estee Lauder and much more like some of those Asian brands like Flower Nose and ZC Cosmetics. Look at the embossing on those lipsticks. That really reminds me of my Palace Identity Dragon lipstick from ZC. Very pretty. And the cushion foundations, very Asian beauty inspired. So this collection is called The Sweet Collab, and apparently it's available starting January 17th. I just looked this up because this is so very different than anything Estee Lauder typically does. According to the blog Late Checkout, Estee Lauder is collaborating with famous Parisian pastry shop Ladurée, so the packaging resembles the sweets that are sold in that shop. The collection includes 2 lipsticks. One is Rebellious Rose, which is one of Estee Lauder's best-selling shades, but of course it wouldn't be a collab without a limited edition shade, so the other lipstick is that, and it's called Indulgent. The lip oils come packaged in a macaron box and come in the shades Glacé, Sucre, and Rosé, and they all have a rose vanilla scent inspired by macarons. Yummy. And then the Double Wear Second Skin Blur comes in pink or milky green. What is this milky green second skin blur? Can I use it as a blurring color corrector? If so, this would be my dream. I could blur the texture from my rosacea while also color correcting it. Or does the milky green just refer to the packaging color and it's just a normal cushion foundation? I guess we'll have to wait until January 17th to find out because I can't seem to find any information on these specific products anywhere. If you happen to know more, please let me know because I think I feel my makeup monster getting the better of me here. So I'm going to move on to the lip oils. Technically, I could store them with my lip glosses because I do have a bit of space there. Just going to confirm. Yes, I do have space for them and their rose vanilla goodness. But you know, this packaging looks a lot like the Lisa Eldridge lip gloss packaging, and as much as I loved the juice inside those glosses, I despised that packaging because it was just really hard to get the last half of the product out. So I am gonna make it easier for me to say no to these, and I'm just going to assume that these would have that same issue so I can just move on. On to the lipsticks. They look so pretty. But you know what? This is a classic case of me being blinded by pretty packaging. I don't think I've ever tried this lipstick formula, so I can't speak to that, but I can speak to the fact that I once bought a beautifully embossed lipstick just like this from ZC Cosmetics. And the beautiful embossing doesn't make me want to use the lipstick more. In fact, sometimes I think it makes me want to use it less because I don't want to ruin the embossing. And how crazy is that? To spend money on a product that is bound to expire eventually and not use it just because the design is pretty. So I'm not going to do that to myself again. Instead, I'm going to enjoy the beautiful lipstick I already own from ZZ because it's still good, it's still beautiful, and I can still enjoy that embossing. And I'm going to resist temptation here, which means the only thing that really has me by the hair at this point is the Milky Green Second Skin Blur. But only if it's actually green. If it's just a cushion foundation, then it's an easy pass. So onward to NYX. They released their Buttermelt Skin Tint and new Glitter Duck Plump gloss shades. I can immediately ignore the lip plumpers because I just generally don't like that sort of thing. But the skin tint at least looks interesting because everyone seems to rave about the entire Buttermelt line, the bronzers and the blushes that came out. I haven't tried those yet because I don't think I've bought a powder blush or bronzer since those things have come out. But I would be interested in at least trying them. I don't know if I want to own them, but I do want to try them. And the same thing goes for this skin tint. I'm pretty interested in it because I've heard a lot of people speak really positively about this extension of the line. The last person I watched review it, I think, was Teresa is Dead, and she did like an all-day wear test, and the way that she was talking about it made me interested. So theoretically, I'm interested, but practically speaking, I am not. If you saw my foundation declutter, then you know that I used to own too much foundation, and some of those absolutely beautiful products ended up expiring before I can use them up. So I want to learn from that mistake, and I just don't purchase a whole lot of foundation products anymore. Plus, Salt New York was kind enough recently to send me their skin tint and concealer to try. And although I am still in the testing phase of this, it's going surprisingly well. So I don't feel the need to try to replace this with that. And since this is a new makeup video, I might as well show it here. Salt New York also sent me this. It's their most recent release. It's a multifunctional product, so it's supposed to be a blush, a highlighter, and a lip gloss all in one. They've called it Mood Lighting, and it comes in 3 shades, light, medium, and dark. I have the lightest shade. It's what I'm wearing today. And this one has been working out for me as well. When Salt New York reached out to me to see if I wanted to try this, I was a little bit hesitant because I used to have a Salt New York palette with a blush, a bronzer, a contour shade, and a highlighter. And I thought that the products looked beautiful, both in the palette and on my face. The only problem was they had no longevity on me. They just would not stay put on my skin. So I ended up giving that palette to my mom, who uses it all the time and loves it. And it's funny because nearly every single time I would ask my mom what she was wearing that day because her cheeks looked so nice, it was pretty much always the Salt New York products. And I was kicking myself because I was like, why do they look so good on you and they won't stay put on my face? Which just serves as a good reminder that a product can work beautifully for one person and not at all for someone else, especially when it comes to complexion products. Our skin and our body chemistries are all so individual, it's just kind of hard to know what's going to work. Which is why I thought it might be the perfect time to revisit Salt New York, because perimenopause has been kind of like an alternate reality for my skin. Things that always used to work for me are suddenly making my face look crusty, and other products that never used to work so well or other techniques are suddenly making my face look great. And so I just figured, well, if my skin is doing this weird thing and I don't know what to expect from it anymore, then maybe this will finally work. And I'm happy to report that angels sing, it finally has staying power, and I'm so happy about that. Because Salt New York was one of those brands that I always kind of wanted to get behind because I feel like they're one of the few brands out there that are genuinely trying to be more sustainable. I feel like a lot of brands are, greenwashing, or they're creating refillable containers, but then they don't make any refills for them. So it's kind of all weird and absurd. Whereas Salt New York, like, that's their whole concept. Like, they sell these palettes, but they also sell individual compacts in case you want that. Or, you can also just buy the product itself. It comes in cardboard. They ship it in compostable packaging. I feel like the entire brand from start to finish is kind of like directed towards sustainability. And I really want to see that more from brands. And so I'm just happy that one of their products finally works for me. Their limited edition blush shade Mood Lighting is really nice. At least for me, this shade is perfect because it is exactly the shade that my cheeks turn when I flush. So if I want to add in some very natural looking dimension back to my face after flattening it out a bit with foundation, this is perfect for that. And this combines their blush formula with their highlighter formula. So there's some very subtle golden micro sparkles in here, and I feel like they just make my cheeks look kind of wet. And I just really like it. I tried using it on my lips as a lip gloss and it works well, like it's comfortable to wear and everything, but those golden micro sparkles make it lean a little bit frosty, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. It's just not a look that I ever personally wanted for myself. So for me, this is a great cheek product, but that's pretty much all I use it for. And this is exactly why I don't need any new makeup, because I already have beautiful things. So let's move on. Colourpop released their Sol Liquid Sun Glow Drops. Apparently, the drops are skincare infused with niacinamide and peptides. I'm not too crazy about that, actually. When it comes to skincare, I have found that less is more. And although niacinamide and peptides and all that stuff can be great in certain contexts, I want to be able to pick and choose exactly when I put those things on my face. I feel like just throwing all the ingredients at my face all the time is just not what my skin likes. So I try to give my skin what it needs when it needs it. But makeup for me is kind of a daily thing. So the more skincare that gets put into makeup, the harder it gets to control my skincare. So that automatically makes it a lot less interesting for me. But also, Colourpop's really slowing down, huh? Like, isn't this a dupe for the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops? And didn't those come out in like 2018? I feel like Colourpop normally would have been a lot faster at duping this sort of thing. Not that I'm complaining though. Colourpop was like the fast fashion of makeup for a while, and I don't think it was doing the planet or our wallets any good. So maybe this is less about them duping a popular product and more about them following the mocha mousse trend with a bronzing product? And if so, that would make them the first makeup product that we've discussed today that's actually following Pantone's theme. All right, I have to hurry up because I am running late. DIOR announced their new DIOR Addict Lip Glow shades. These look really nice, especially that new tangerine shade there, but they are pH adjusting, which I despise, so this product is dead to me. Maybelline is releasing their Sunkisser highlighter. This looks really pretty, but I have two gigantic liquid luminizers that I really enjoy, the one from Auric and the one from Charlotte Tilbury, so I am all set in this makeup category. L'Oreal released their Lumi Ellie Glow Skin Tint, and when I look at these swatches, this looks really glowy, like almost like a luminizer, like greasy glowy. And I was watching a review by Carmel Nicole Beauty, and it looked really glowy on her as well. Since my skin is already oily combination, I don't think this one is for me. So yay! Easy pass. But here is one that I am very curious about. YSL knows how to tickle my makeup monster. Their new All Hours Hyper Loose Powder looks like it will be coming out in March. If you are as devastated as I am that Givenchy had the nerve to reformulate their absolutely perfect loose powder and turn it into a monstrosity, then maybe you are as hopeful as I am that this could be a potential replacement. According to Trend Mood One's post, it looks like this will launch in 3 colors. It says translucent to brighten, lavender to reduce yellowness and dullness, and pastel blue to reduce redness. Blue to reduce redness. That's unexpected. Based on this image alone, it also looks like there might be a pink shade coming. So I don't know, maybe some under eye brightening. Let me know if this is something you think you'd want me to review on my channel, and also let me know what color or colors that you would want to see tested on my skin tone, because this could have potential. This might be worth some of my channel's budget. It will be really interesting though to see what the ingredients are. This and that Estee Lauder green milky thing are the 2 things that are tempting me the most right now. And they're not even mocha mousse themed. I'm gonna have to revisit Trend Mood when I have some more time so we can continue catching up on all the upcoming spring releases. But let me know, what do you think of the whole mocha mousse color of the year thing? And is Pantone's color even really relevant? because I haven't seen it reflected in any of these releases or in any of the fashion that I've been following, at least not yet. Also, are there any upcoming releases that are making your inner makeup monster a little crazy? Thanks for having a makeup monster playdate with me. If you want to keep hanging out, I have another video for you right here. If you want to see more content like this, please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But even if you don't, I hope you have a great week and we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.